Okay, so it has been a minute since we talked about Chainlink, and I think it is now time to talk about the long-term and also the short-term possibility that we are having in here, suggesting potentially the bottom can be in. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you are having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before we talk about what is happening in the short term, let's zoom out more and tell you what is happening in the mid to long term. Overall, I am absolutely bullish in Chainlink because, in my opinion, in this bull run back in 2021, we created a very clear 5-wave on the upside into a wave 1, and followed by that, this is an ABC with an expanding ending diagonal into our C leg into wave 2, and right now we are on our way to have in the midterm a huge move up into wave 3. This is going to happen in this cycle, and followed by that, the next bear market, I would say, probably is going to be into a wave 4, and then hopefully we are going to have another move up into wave 5. And no, just because I put the end of this wave 3 to somewhere around $450 doesn't mean that we're going to go there. This chart is at the moment on logarithmic scale, so the numbers in here are going to look a bit high. However, again, this doesn't mean that we're going to go there. I'm talking about the general structures in here, but I can tell you this with quite a bit of certainty. I think into our wave 3, not only we are going to set an all-time high and take the highest high all the way up here about $55, but also, in my opinion, we are going to go quite a bit higher than that. For example, 80 to 100 bucks Chainlink, I think can be definitely in the cards for the cycle. So in terms of overall structures, we are definitely looking optimistic. Now, what about the short-term structures? Well, in today's video about Chainlink, I just want to talk about the structure that we are having starting from the highest side in this region about $30 to all the way down here around 13 bucks. Now, if you want to say that the bottom is in right in here, I think you can actually make a good argument for having an ABC in form of a zigzag structure in this area, and in a zigzag, we are going to have sub-waves like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 wave down into A, correction for wave B. It can be in different forms. For example, we can have an ABC or maybe a WXY, possibly even a triangle, doesn't matter. And then another 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 wave down into our C leg. And here's a very important point. Inside of this wave 1, 3, and 5 into C and also our A leg, we are going to have 5 waves on a lower degree. Understood? Excellent. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. And here is the situation. I think in this phase down, we are having a 5-wave impulsive structure down. And this is the key. I believe the end of our 5-wave down might be right in here. And here is why. Let's zoom in more and count some waves. So where is the highest high between these ones? As you can see, it's actually right in here. And based on it, I can tell you this is 1, this is correction for wave 2, followed by that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into wave 3, correction for 4, and we are having in here another move down into wave 5. And I guess you can also argue that maybe this is going to be the end of our correction for 4, another move down into wave 5. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. The point is we are definitely having a 5-wave on the downside, starting from the highest side and ending to somewhere around these areas. Now, after it, I believe a correction structure started from this point, and the end of it is going to be right in here, and it is going to be probably in form of an A, B, C expanded flat. This is ABC up into A, followed by that ABC down into wave B, and then like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside into our C leg. Now, here's a very important point. From this side to about here, we can consider different possibilities. But when you check out some other charts, for example, when you go on crypto.com, there we go, as you can see, we do not actually have the shadow that we had in here in Kraken's chart. So to me, this suggests that I should probably ignore that shadow. And when I do that, I can tell you this is the wave 1, and then we are having a correction into our wave 2 to about here. After it, a very strong move down into wave 3, correction for 4, I would say to about this point, and another move down into wave 5. And I'm going to show you the sub waves in a bit into our wave 5. But before that, pay attention to this. Into our wave 4, I believe starting from this point, we are having an A, correction for wave B, another move up into wave C, correction for D, and another move into our E leg. And from this high, we are having a wave 1, correction for 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the downside into wave 5, and on a higher degree, well, okay, these are in Chainlink probably the subwaves for, you know it, like we said it earlier, an A, B, C zigzag structure. Now, here's a very important point. In terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, we are also at the same time around two unbelievably important support areas from weekly and daily time frame at the same time. And that does actually add a bit of validity to this count, suggesting in Chainlink, either according to this scenario, we have hit our final bottom, or even if you want to say that the bottom is not in yet, I can tell you that the downsides in Chainlink are going to be very, very limited. And I am at the moment, at least, having kind of a hard time believing that even if we are going to have another move down, for example, we are going to get a break of this important level, which the lower band of it is about $12 and the higher band of it is about 12.8 bucks. So in terms of overall structure in Chainlink, from the highest side to about here, I can tell you that we are having an ABC zigzag with a decent amount of confidence. And what do I want to see in order to talk about this possibility with a hell of a lot of more confidence? You know it, a 5-wave impulsive structure up, because if you want to argue, for example, we're going to have our final bottom around here, and maybe this is going to be like a very important support, okay? Naturally, we need to be able to find off of the lowest low in this region a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is a normal 5 wave. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 right in here should not be the smallest wave. This is a big no-no in Elliott waves. And for our sub waves, you know it, if you are a regular viewer, let's just change the colors to red, okay? 5 up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Let's just draw them. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have so many different possibilities. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Let's say, yep, WXY into 4 and an ABC structure into wave 2. Let's go now on the live chart and see, do we have something similar or not? So this move on the upside in Chainlink, in my opinion, does actually look quite like an impulse. Why is that? Let's go on 15-minute chart and see, can we identify a 5 wave on the upside in here? Can we say that maybe this is like a 1, 2, and then decent move up into wave 3 to about here, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Well, earlier in the video, I told you wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. So let's measure it and make sure this structure is correct. Let's compare to the other waves. Is it smaller than our wave 5? The answer is probably, I would say yes. Is it also smaller than wave 1? The answer is also yes. So this structure at the moment is not allowed, and that kind of leads me to say that maybe we are having a 1-2 scenario in here, meaning this can be 1 correction for 2, and then I'm hoping that we're going to get another move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree is going to be probably into a larger degree wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, and so on and so forth. And this is also going to be 1, 2, big 5 up into wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. So if you want to be optimistic in Chainlink and you want to argue that the bottom is in, you need to see a continuation of this move on the upside. And in case that we want to have a move down, you want to see a very slow and choppy move on the downside, which is going to be a very important, you know what, characteristic of a correction structure. So in other words, going down in Chainlink, in case if you want to be optimistic, in a very strong impulsive manner is kind of not an option for us. All we want to see is either a very strong move on the upside in order to continue the uptrend, or maybe a very slow and choppy move down. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Chainlink's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent EA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.